Chlorine trifluoride is so reactive that it causes sand, asbestos, and glass to burst into flames upon contact without any external ignition source. This interhalogen compound consists of one chlorine atom bonded to three fluorine atoms, forming a substance that is a pale green liquid below 12 degrees Celsius. During World War II, German scientists developed this chemical under the codename N-Stoff, intending to use it in flamethrowers and for piercing bunkers. According to valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, the chlorine atom has 5 electron pairs, leading to a trigonal bipyramidal arrangement with 2 lone pairs. The presence of 2 lone pairs in the equatorial positions forces the 3 fluorine atoms into a T-shape with a bond angle of 87.5 degrees. The axial chlorine to fluorine bonds are slightly longer than the equatorial bond because of increased repulsion from the lone pairs located on the central atom. The reactivity stems from the extreme electronegativity of fluorine, which makes chlorine trifluoride a more vigorous fluorinating agent than elemental fluorine itself in many conditions. As an oxidizer, it surpasses oxygen in its ability to support the combustion of materials that are normally considered completely non-flammable or already oxidized. Contact with water results in a violent explosion, releasing massive amounts of heat along with toxic hydrogen fluoride and hydrochloric acid gases.
When reacting with sand or silicon dioxide, chlorine trifluoride displaces the oxygen, forming silicon tetrafluoride gas and chlorine monofluoride, while releasing intense thermal energy. In the 1950s, a 1-ton spill of this chemical burned through 30 centimeters of concrete and nearly a meter of gravel underneath. Standard fire suppression methods fail because chlorine trifluoride reacts with carbon dioxide, halon, and even water-based foams, fueling the fire rather than extinguishing it. It can only be stored in specific metals like steel, copper, or nickel that have been passivated by a thin protective layer of metal-fluoride. Monel, a nickel-copper alloy, is the preferred material for valves and piping because its fluoride layer is exceptionally stable, even at elevated temperatures. If the protective fluoride layer is scratched or melted by a sudden heat spike, the underlying metal will catch fire and burn until the oxidizer is exhausted. Rocket scientists explored using it as an oxidizer because it is denser than liquid oxygen and hypergolic, meaning it ignites spontaneously with fuel. The hypergolic nature eliminates the need for complex ignition systems in rocket engines, but the extreme toxicity and handling hazards outweighed the performance benefits. While it offers high density, the specific impulse is lower than that of liquid oxygen and hydrogen systems, making it less efficient for deep space missions. Today, the primary industrial use is cleaning chemical vapor deposition chambers in the semiconductor industry to remove residues without dismantling the equipment.
It efficiently removes silicon nitride, silicon dioxide, and tungsten deposits by converting these solids into volatile fluoride gases at relatively low temperatures. Unlike elemental fluorine, chlorine trifluoride can clean chambers at room temperature, which prevents thermal stress and damage to sensitive electronic manufacturing components. In the nuclear industry, this chemical is used to convert uranium oxides into uranium hexafluoride, which is essential for the uranium enrichment process. Uranium hexafluoride is unique because it sublimes at 56 degrees Celsius, allowing uranium isotopes to be separated using gas centrifuges or diffusion. Chlorine trifluoride is produced by reacting chlorine gas with an excess of fluorine gas at temperatures around 250 degrees Celsius. The crude product contains impurities like chlorine monofluoride and pentafluoride, which must be separated through a careful fractional distillation process. The threshold limit value for human exposure is only 0.1 parts per million, making it significantly more toxic than most industrial acids. Inhaling the gas causes severe burns to the respiratory tract and can lead to delayed pulmonary edema, where the lungs fill with fluid. Because it reacts with moisture in the skin, it generates hydrofluoric acid, which penetrates deep into tissues and causes painful bone decalcification. Chlorine trifluoride acts as a powerful Lewis acid, reacting with fluoride donors to form the stable tetrafluorochlorate anion in various chemical salts.
Unlike many other acids, it can even react with noble metals such as gold and platinum, especially when heated or in the presence of catalysts.
The T-shaped geometry results in a permanent dipole moment of 0.55 debye, influencing its solubility and physical interactions in the liquid phase. Despite its reactivity, the molecule is thermodynamically stable, with a negative enthalpy of formation of -163 kilojoules per mole. It is soluble in certain perfluorinated hydrocarbons, which can be used as inert carriers for controlled reactions in laboratory and industrial settings. Personnel working with large quantities must wear level A pressure demand suits made of specialized materials that can withstand brief chemical contact. Most experimental work is conducted in armored cells using remote manipulators to protect researchers from accidental leaks or explosive decompositions. Renowned chemist John D. Clark famously described it as a substance that is more dangerous than any other chemical he had ever encountered. Military leaders rejected it as a chemical weapon because it was too difficult to transport and would likely destroy the delivery systems before reaching the target. In the atmosphere, it reacts with water vapor to form a toxic cloud of acid rain, making any leak an immediate environmental emergency. While chlorine pentafluoride is even more fluorinated, the trifluoride remains more common in industry due to its slightly more manageable boiling point. Common plastics like polyethylene and PVC ignite instantly on contact, as the chemical strips hydrogen and carbon atoms to form gaseous fluorides.
Even Teflon, which is normally resistant to most chemicals, can burn in a chlorine trifluoride atmosphere if there is a source of friction or heat. In organic chemistry, it can be used for controlled fluorination when diluted, allowing for the creation of specific carbon-fluorine bonds in pharmaceuticals. At standard room temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, it is a gas, but it is often shipped as a pressurized liquid to maximize density. Its high vapor pressure means that even a small container breach will rapidly fill a room with a lethal concentration of invisible toxic vapor. Spills are typically treated by flooding with large amounts of nitrogen to dilute the gas, followed by careful application of dry soda ash. It reacts with graphite to form intercalation compounds, where chlorine trifluoride molecules are trapped between the layers of carbon atoms before eventually reacting. International maritime codes classify it as a Class 2.3 toxic gas and a Class 5.1 oxidizer, requiring secondary containment. The liquid is nearly twice as dense as water, meaning that in a leak, it will sink to the lowest point of a facility or container. With a molecular weight of 92.45 grams per mole, the gas is significantly heavier than air, which is roughly 29. Industrial facilities use wet scrubbers filled with potassium hydroxide solutions to neutralize chlorine trifluoride before venting waste gases into the atmosphere. Chemists detect the presence of this gas using infrared spectroscopy, identifying characteristic vibration peaks at 750 wave numbers. For semiconductor applications, the gas must be 99.9% pure to avoid contaminating silicon wafers with metallic impurities. Transporting this substance is so risky that many countries restrict its movement to specialized rail cars or heavy-duty dedicated truck convoys. Research into even more energetic fluorinators continues, but chlorine trifluoride remains the practical limit for what can be safely handled in large volumes. It remains one of the most terrifying yet useful chemicals in modern industry, a testament to the power of interhalogen reactivity. Handling chlorine trifluoride requires absolute technical mastery, as any error results in a fire that cannot be put out by any conventional means.